Right guys, I've actually received a lot of private messages from some of you, and some of you are asking me that, what areas of English do you not like teaching? Because, I can explain like pretty much all of the grammar, and I do enjoy teaching very much, but behind the scenes there are some areas of English that, before I go into a classroom I just want to jump out of the window because it's just not interesting to teach. I find it boring, but I do it, and I will be making videos on all of these things in the future because I must. But I'm going to share my secrets with you. So the first area I really can't stand teaching is reported speech. For me, it's just so dull. It's just so boring. The practice in class, you just go around and change a direct statement into a reported statement, and learning the grammar of shifting down tenses. But the problem is sometimes is that books often say, oh, when we don't change the tenses, if the statement is still true, which basically means nothing, by the way, it can be very confusing. And it's the reason I dislike teaching reported speech is because it's one of those areas of grammar that in everyday spoken English just goes against the rules. So when I teach it, I feel I'm teaching something very unnatural, because of course at lower levels you can't really give the exceptions because it will confuse students. I do at high levels, but at low levels you must stick to the rules. It's like, oh, it's such a pain. Okay, the next area I don't like teaching, something not many people talk about, your adverb positions. Now, your adverbs, your adverbs of frequency or your prepositional adverbials and things like this. There are so many different rules and so many places where it has to go. It's just boring to explain, all the different groups of adverbs and where they go in a sentence. It's just really boring learning a list by heart. Of course we have to do it, but it's just an area of English I just hate doing. But I do it anyway, and I do it successfully, but there are many more kind of interesting areas in my opinion. Now the future progressive. Now, you know what the future progressive is. At 8 o'clock I will be having dinner. This is like one of the most basic rules for the future progressive or future continuous. But there are many other rules that I need to teach students at higher levels. And it's one of those areas that is so distant to many other languages that students just don't use it in English. And so to get students to use the future continuous in its different aspects, it's very, very difficult. You really have to give hundreds of examples, lots of modelling to get them to use it even at a high level. I mean, there's even CPE students that don't often use it. So I do spend a lot of time teaching that. And again, I will be doing a video on this. When I talk about unusual examples like, will sir be staying with us tonight? Or, oh, he'll be arriving in 5 minutes. Why not he's going to arrive in 5 minutes? Well, there is a clear difference, as I will explain in a video, but to get students to use it is very, very hard. Of course, this is probably the most boring one, I would say, verb complementation. So what that means is, it's like, is your verb plus infinitive? Is it plus ing? Is it plus a reflexive like myself? Is it plus that? Is it with as plus some phrase? And again, there's nothing really interesting about teaching that. It's more about just learning lists and lists and lists by heart. So throwing constant vocab at students. So you have to think as a teacher of all of these interesting ways in order to get students excited about it. So I try to sort of switch on my brain and try to act to look interested when I teach it. Hopefully it works. I'm sure it does. And the last one, now if you're Russian you can probably understand this, or if you don't have articles in your language, yeah, I mean, how to say, like, I don't mind teaching articles, I know all the rules, but there's just so many of them. And the problem is that when you go to a textbook, any textbook which has a unit on articles, it's always so basic. It's just so minimal. And as a teacher, even if it's upper intermediate or advanced, you kind of feel that it's not enough. So as a result, I have to go to, say, Murphy's, which is probably the best book for articles, to be honest. The blue one and the advanced green one, and just go through lots of practice. But again, what I really dislike about teaching articles, if you often use other sources like Murphy's, the problem is you get this rule of articles and this practice. And to get students to use articles freely, it takes a long time, so I have to make my own texts, edit my own texts, and it just, as a teacher, it just takes so much time, it really does. I keep all my materials on the computer, but I use them again and again with students, but it's just like, again, just learning loads of sort of simple rules by heart, a lot of them. And the problem is there are many exceptions as well. and I will do some more videos on articles. I think I've done 2 for YouTube already, but I'll do the rest of them sometime in the future. So yeah, basically, I love teaching everything else. I love teaching conditionals, I love teaching tenses, modal verbs, relative pronouns, inversion, clef sentences, front end, everything like that. But these ones, I teach them well, I do prepare my lessons, but I wish they didn't exist. So guys, please tell me below in the comment section what area of English you don't personally like studying. I'm sure you have some things that really annoy you. You can also leave comments on things that you enjoy learning, that that you find easy, or even share your methods. I'd love to read them and give you some feedback. So guys, have a very nice afternoon, because it's the afternoon here in Moscow. The sun's out finally. It's been raining all week, and I will see you again in the next video. So have a good day and goodbye.